Happy Saturday. I hope you all are having a wonderful start to your weekend. I am laying down at the park, enjoying the cooler breeze here. And I didn't even know this park was here. And I was saying to myself after a really great coaching call with my men's group that I needed to just be around some grass, be around some nature. And so I took myself on a walk, looked up on the map, where was the nearest park? And I've never been here, but I just thought, hey, it's only a half hour away and it's lovely. And I don't know if we all do this enough. I mean, hopefully you're blessed and you're in a very walkable area like I am, but still, even though I live in a very walkable area, I'm not that close to a park or to some kind of open space in order to just be and connect, right? And it had me thinking about the difference between masculinity and femininity and that difference between being and doing. And how I've been posting a lot about polarity and integration, obviously. That's kind of the main focus of my brand. And I get so much pushback from people. I got this one comment this week, which I thought was pretty hysterical, from this clinical psychologist, but he was obviously a red-pilled clinical psychologist. And he commented on my post on Instagram about shocking truths about masculinity and femininity and challenging a lot of people's erroneous assumptions about it and polarity. And he said, well, the only feminine side I have is my girlfriend. So I responded to him, well, sir, I'm sorry to tell you, but you have lots of feminine traits. That's part of humanity. We have yin and we have yang. We have masculine and we have feminine. And I know I can say this a million times, but it's a really dynamic and deep concept. But just this idea of taking a walk, unplugging from the computer. I mean, I'm on my phone right now, but ultimately getting away from my apartment, right? Getting my body outside into the open air and being able to just detach from doing and connect with nature and go for a walk is so effective for our health and ultimately to be productive, but in the moment, not being so much productive in that cerebral sense, but just being able to be and take some deep breaths and enjoy this wonderful weather that we're having and connect our brains to these wide open spaces, look around and see other people living their lives and walking through neighborhoods. This is a feminine experience. This is us being able to connect with our yin side. So it's a reminder that the point when we say we want to be more masculine or we want to be more feminine is not to kill the other side of us. It's so important to focus on that integration and to find that balance between both. So all this to say, the segue here was this morning when I was on my men's group coaching call, we had a guest speaker. I don't know if you're familiar with Dan Coe. He's in my circle online on Twitter and Instagram, and he's actually someone that we've met. He's a friend of ours, and he lives nearby. So I invited him on my men's coaching group to talk about his business and how to be successful. And he made a point that the highest ROI, the highest impact habit that he has really discovered for himself and his business and just his lifestyle is waking up in the morning, doing your thing, like taking a drink of water or whatever. But the first thing that you really do is going on a walk before you start working. Just go for a walk because it allows your mind to kind of set the tone for the day and you get to process that subconscious content that's in your mind, right? Like you're waking up from dreams or maybe not dreaming so much, but you're already thinking about what you have to do and going through your to-do list, but being able to stimulate your body, right? Like get moving and let, all of that sort of flow between your mind and your body and think about what's important to you and maybe come up with some ideas. Those are the times when you come up with the best ideas, when you have that free time to just have that free flow. right? Like, it's, if you're in the bathroom, you're not doing anything in particular, like, you can have some of the most amazing ideas, and don't forget to write them down. That's what I've been trying to get better at, is writing down my ideas as soon as I have them, because then they just get lost if I don't. But habits like these are so important for creating consistency and balance in your life, and for ultimately having a lot of success in the end, right? Both personally and work-wise. So this translates to so many different areas. If we talk about our health, if we talk about our relationships, if we talk about our business, we have to remember that you don't want to be so overproductive, so hyper-productive and overachieving that you forget about just the simple things that will optimize all of your productivity and success, right? Tapping into the feminine, tapping into the being, rest, recovery, recharging, all of that is essential. And it doesn't take away from your masculinity, men, if you make time for that. You have to make time for it. It's so important. And for women too, like, women are so focused on doing now and achieving and competing and being so masculine, and it's so important for us to remember our feminine side. And whenever you're feeling stressed, whenever you're feeling frustrated, I mean, obviously there are times when things are urgent in the moment and you have to get them done and you have to, like, do crisis management or whatever. But in general, if it's not urgent right in the moment, take a step back, take a breath, go outside, unplug, detach, really just catch your breath and remember that in the bigger scheme of things, it's usually not that important, and that we have to regulate ourselves. But that balance between masculinity and femininity is also really important for women in the reverse, right? Like, we have to have both. You can't just be a feminine woman 100% of the time. We have to have the masculine traits too. So it's all about finding that sweet spot of integration between the two, that internal polarity between masculinity and femininity. And people are so defensive about trying to be one or the other. And that's just it's not healthy, and it's not possible. So let's explore a little bit, like, what are your assumptions around masculinity and femininity? If you are watching this, I don't know how many people are around, but do tell me where you are at. Tell me, if you feel you're stronger in your masculine energy or your feminine energy, and where you need to work more to bring out the other side. I know for me, when I'm highly stressed, which right now it's kind of a high stress time in my life, in our lives, and so it's so important for me to reconnect with my feminine side and just being more patient, being more graceful, being just slowing down, honestly. So that's why I'm here in the park talking to you, laying down. I found a really great shady spot so I could see and you could see and hear me, but it's lovely, like I said. But I encourage you to do this too. I typically, when I'm in like a new city or if I'm traveling or something, I just love to go on foot and explore and sightsee. So I'm big on Google Maps. If you're on Google Maps, maybe you can find me. But my Google Maps are really helpful for me to just have an adventure and not really need to know what the outcome is, and enjoy the process of sightseeing on foot. That's really something that I love to do. And sometimes we forget about that where we're at. We always want to go somewhere else to go explore. But see what happened is I just looked on the Google Maps for the closest park, and here we go. Here I am. And now I'm so excited because it's really not that far. So it's a reminder to you to really emphasize, exploit, leverage these high impact habits that might seem trivial, but when you iterate them like on a consistent basis, the effects will compound. And you might take it for granted because it seems so easy and so simple, but don't take the simple things for granted. That's the beauty of it. They're there to access, to use, and to leverage for your own health and happiness and success. I will talk to you soon. Enjoy your Saturday. Ciao.